We are smack dab in the middle of all of our spring sports going on right now. Very, very busy time. In addition to our in-house programming, we have also, as you're aware, we're working with Perfect Game to bring different baseball tournaments here. We have had, the last 2 weekends, we've had tournaments with Perfect Game. We don't have one this weekend, but we do have one the weekend of May 7th as well. So we're pretty happy with the number of tournaments and the engagement that we've had with them that we've not had with other groups in the past. I did want to bring up that our youth baseball, we are up almost 50 players over last year. We're right around 520 players from the Raymore area, and that's just absolutely amazing. All of our tiny sports, soccer and t-ball, are both full, and t-ball doesn't start until June. Meetings and workshops that we've had, both myself and our communications manager, Melissa Harmer, participated in the Missouri Park and Recreation Association media workshop in Jefferson City a couple of weeks ago. That was a good opportunity for Melissa as a media marketing, social media person, and then me as a recreation person to be able to go together so that I know the programs and then she knows the audience. I don't know the backside, the metrics on how many YouTube or how many times people click on things or what all that means, but she does. And so it was a good opportunity for us to really be able to work together, hear the same messages, but we hear it differently when it comes to that media, marketing, and communication. So really good collaboration and a very good workshop that was put on by Missouri Park and Recreation Association. Recreation Coordinator Corinne Harkins met with the farmers market vendors a couple of weeks ago. Very good meeting. This year for the farmers market, we are updating the map of where they will be setting up. It's still going to be here in the circle, but instead of most of the vendors being posted in the street, with that being the thoroughfare, we are moving the vendors up into the grass area, still out here on both sides of the sidewalk, so we still have accessibility. We still have the ability for people to be more in a close-knit grouping of vendors. So instead of spread out for the entire half circle, we're going to be focused more into the center, be more intimate, and we'll be able to have more vendors in the future, and the vendors are pretty excited about that. We're also going to look at bringing additional food trucks and some of those bigger trailers that will still be parking out in the street, but we want to try and make it more park-like. So they'll be up in the grass. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler, and a couple of the vendors will have some shade from the few trees that are out there. So those may in the future become premium spots. I also wanted to let you all know that Recreation Coordinator Corinne Harkins also passed her national certification, the Certified Recreation and Park Professional certification a couple of weeks ago. In our industry, that is the gold standard of recreation understanding, and she had eligibility to be able to sit for that exam, and she passed it on her first attempt, which is much to be commended. In our recreation program side, the Easter Festival last weekend was moved to a different location, a new location, Recreation Park. We held it on the baseball fields, and those were segregated by different age groups. I've not seen one of the Easter festivals in the past. I don't know how they went in the past, but from everything that I've heard staff, Steve's side and from the recreation side, that this was quite an improvement. We had about 2,000-ish kiddos that were out there to hunt the 15,000 eggs that we spread out on the fields, and in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes, everything was done. So if you're late, you're late. We did have a visit by our resident Easter Bunny, sitting down here a couple to my right, to which my son was terrified of him, but he had long lines of kiddos, and he did a really nice job. and scary. We do have the Touch a Truck that's coming up on May 7th. And then I will be working along with Steve to get the spray ground scheduled for de-winterizing in the next couple of weeks. So that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Superintendent Gibbs?
I have one.
Simon?
Was the bunny rabbit in a costume?
Yes, sir. Very nice costume, although we need to look into the bigger vest for some reason. It shrunk.
Any other questions? I just have a statement. Your son is a very good character judge.
I agree.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Director?
Thanks, sir. I will ask Park Superintendent Rulo to give a parks report.
Thank you. I submitted a written report as well. Just wanted to add a couple things. The playground out at Ward Park, I think I've mentioned it before in the past that we had an issue with some of the turf coming up. We've gotten with AB Creative, who installed that back in 2012. Next week they'll be coming out and fixing the turf, adding actual brand new, all new composite wood around the edges to attach the carpet to. They're going to add a different color on an area to kind of make it look like ocean water. So it'll be blue that will contrast with the green and the tan sand pods in there. So I'm really excited about the way this is going to look. Should look pretty cool. Also, I might have mentioned it last time. Just wanted to let everybody know that staff we are in full summer routine now. All mowing. Baseball fields, trash restrooms, the whole 9 yards, which leads into my last statement that we are eagerly looking for summer help, summer employees. If anybody knows any college student that needs a summer job, please send them our way. Would love to talk to them. With that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions for Superintendent Rulo? No? Okay. Thank you, sir. Director?
Thanks, sir. I've also submitted a written report. I would like to highlight just a couple things. We are getting several phone calls, especially now that the weather is nice and people are out using the parks and the trails, about trash at Hawkridge Park, especially in and around the lake. I will say that we have several projects, community service projects coming up through whether it be Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, American Heritage Girls, churches, things of that nature. We can't schedule those enough. We also, tonight we'll be looking at a contract that also includes some trash pickup with that. If you are out and about and someone approaches you as a board member, please pass them to us. We will take any volunteers. We'll give them the sticks and we'll give them the trash bags that they can go out and help us out. Frankly speaking, telling us that there's a lot of trash out there and doing something about it doesn't do us a lot of good. We're obviously needing some help with that. As you know, Mr. Rulo just said, we're looking for help. So there are opportunities to volunteer, and we are happy to provide some materials for them to do that at Hawkridge Park. That being said, this particular weekend we have 2 overnight camp groups, one at Hawkridge Park at the shelter. American Heritage Girls will be spending 2 nights there, Friday night and Saturday night. They will be doing some trash pickup, and then we have a Boy Scout troop spending the night at Moon Valley. Did they confirm spending the night, or are they just going to be that? We're not sure if they're going to spend the night, but they are going to do a service project out there. So parks are going to be busy. Now, finally, I would like to announce some really good news that City Attorney Zur kind of ruined it a little bit in our previous work session, but he didn't spill the beans too much. I reported to you that TV Hanna Station was nominated and received the regional award for structural award for small city, rural cities with the American Public Works Association. That particular group nominated TV Hanna for the national award, and we received notice last week that we did win the national award. So That is really exciting for our city, for our parks, for you guys. We will be traveling to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Public Works Conference to receive our award in August. So this is a big thing. This is really cool. Now, when we talk about our park system, we are national award winners, and we're not just saying we're known nationally or we're recognized nationally. We are all those things, and we also are award winners. So congratulations for seeing a vision and a project through and ensuring that we got to do what we as staff wanted to do. And so we thank you for that. And so that is great news. And with that, I am happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for the director?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Bill.
Yes, I didn't want to wait for personal comments. I want to personally thank the director and the staff for that award. That is a hard-earned and well-recognized award, and it's rare to, well, let's be honest, not everybody can get it. And I think I can't think of anything I can say to extend to you the appreciation that this board has for what you've done in order to garner that award. I couldn't wait for the end because I knew I would take up too much time.
Thank you, Bill. Anyone else? Nope. Thank you, Director. We have no unfinished business, so now we're going to move to our big bank of new business. We have 5 action items, so we'll get started. Action item A, award of contract, West Hawk Ridge Park Improvements. Director.
Thank you, sir. Tonight, presenting a recommendation for a contract for the project and the construction improvements associated with the West Hawk Ridge Park project. The board will remember that is one of the 2020 no tax increase bond issue projects. We have gone through the design, and this is to actually construct the project that we approved and the design we approved. Just a refresher for you guys, this is on the west side to where the soccer fields are, to build a parking lot, a permanent restroom area there, trail around the soccer fields, just overall improvements on that side of the park. Also to put an ADA accessible trail from that parking lot and soccer area down to where the Hawk's Nest will be built later this summer. So this is a big project for us. This is kind of the first of 2 parts of improvements at Hawk Ridge Park. I will say that we did receive 4 bids when bids were closed. There were 4. Sands Construction has been vetted. They have experience in municipal projects. They are on the Kansas side, but we did an extensive research and talking to other cities that they have worked for and had good reviews. Their bid was under our $500,000 budget for this project at $480,000. However, I'll explain this more in the next item. There were obviously some other expenses for this project previously, so it does overall take the budget over. But for this particular purpose, they were the lowest, most complete, and best bid, and staff recommends award of contract. Happy to answer any questions, sir.
Any questions of the director? Seeing and hearing none, I will ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Bill.
I move we award a contract for the West Hawk Ridge Park improvements to Sands Construction LLC.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Hearing a first from Mr. Manson and a second from Mr. Casas. Any conversation? Questions? Not hearing any discussion, we'll go to vote. All those in favor? Passes 7-0, 2 absent. Okay, we'll move on to action item B, budget amendment, West Hawk Ridge Park improvements. Director?
Thank you, sir. As previously described in the report for the construction contract, this is a budget amendment. I want to explain although the contract bid was under budget, under our $500,000 budget, we did have previous expenses that include design services through CFS engineering, surveying, boundary surveys, things of that nature, and advertising bid. All those things get charged to a project, and that did take us over, once you add the Sands construction contract, over our budget at $52,190. However, within the bonds, when the bonds were sold and we collected those bonds, there was $80,000 that was unallocated towards projects. That's based on the recommended budget that we gave and how much we sold the bonds for. So there was some additional funding there waiting to be used or allocated towards projects. And talking with Mr. Fearborn, we felt like this was a good application of that, since that it was not previously designated towards anything. So this budget amendment is to allocate $52,200 from unallocated funds towards the West Hawk Ridge Park project. That budget amendment would apply upon approval of the City Council, and then we would issue contract award notice to proceed to Sands construction. I am happy to answer any questions, and that concludes staff report.
Any questions? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Bill.
I propose we make a budget amendment to the West Hawk Ridge Park improvement in the amount of $52,200.
Thank you, sir. Second? Thank you. So Bill with the motion, a second by Mr. Casas or Mr. Manson, sorry. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor? Passes 7-0, 2 absent. Moving on to action item C, award of contract Centerview Detention Area. Director?
Thank you, sir. Just a quick note, and in the event this is mixed up in your packets, my printout, the agenda items were flip-flopped as in terms of the agenda you see there. So just make sure as you're following through at the packet that you're looking at the right one. So it could be my error since I printed it out. But this particular item is the award of contract for Centerview Detention Area Design. This is another one of our bond projects. And just to give a reference, on the south side of Centerview, where we just are wrapping up the completion of the trail and the boardwalk as part of that project, that overlooks large detention basins for stormwater. Part of the bond projects was to redesign those basins, incorporate some educational components to that, utilizing native and adaptive plantings, monarch butterflies, way stations, things of that nature, so that kind of gives it a view as you walk across the boardwalk, but it also has a stormwater purpose. And what this particular project that you're looking at doing here is we're contracting with a consulting firm to help design those. Once we design those and the park board has gone through that process of seeing what's going on there, we'll bid that back out for construction purposes later this fall. Most of that work will be done late fall, plantings in this time next year in the spring after we've ordered the plants and we're getting what we want, and we're not getting kind of the end of the year leftovers. We're specifically ordering what we want, and we have a fresh product next spring. That's kind of the timeline, but this particular project is for the design of those areas. I'm happy to answer any questions I can. We have, just a quick note, this was open for bids. We did receive only one bid, and so per policy, we bring that company in, we interview them, we look at compared projects across the region, things that they've worked at, and really more of a one-on-one interview process to make sure we feel comfortable with that one, because there's really nothing to compare to. We did go through that process. We are very comfortable with this particular group and have some familiarity with their team members, in previous projects, so we're very comfortable with this and do recommend award of contract.
Any questions of the director? Bill?
Director, what's the name of the company that you are recommending that we award the contract to?
McClure Engineering Service.
McClure Engineering Company?
Yes, McClure Engineering Company.
All right, thank you, sir.
Any other questions? I just have a statement. Thank you for clearing up detention area. That always makes me nervous. Okay, hearing no other questions, I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Bill.
I move we award a contract for the Centerview Detention Area Design to McClure Engineering Company.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. So, Member Manson with the first, Member Mapes with the second. Any discussion? Okay, not hearing any, we'll go to vote. All those in favor? Passes 7-0, 2 absent. Move down to action item D, award of contract, Lake and Pond Management. Director?
Thank you, sir. This contract is a new contract for us. This is the management of Recreation Park Pond and Johnston Lake at Hawkridge Park. And when we say the management, that is the control of vegetation, algae, weeds, and things of that nature so that the water looks good, looks clean, is healthy. It also includes the fountain maintenance at Rec Park, not at Johnston Lake. That particular fountain is maintained through the original contract when we had it installed. So why this is a new contract is this is the first time we've gone out to bid for these services. Previously, we enlisted Solitude Lake Company for when we rebuilt Recreation Park Pond. We did not require a competitive bid at that point. And then we also utilized them at Johnston Lake. Now that quoted service has come to an end, we wanted to go ahead and competitively bid this, get it out there to other people. And we had 2 bids returned, one with Aquatic Control, which is out of the eastern side of the state, but they have contracts all over the Midwest. And then also Solitude Lake, who previously performed our services for us. Aquatic Control did come in as the low bidder. Both bids were complete bids. We did do some pretty extensive follow-up work with them because what I've learned is that that's really a very hard thing to bid. Everybody does it differently, even though the desired outcome is the same. I learned a lot, so then when we bid it again next time, we know how to kind of tweak that and change it a little bit. But because of that, we actually called them and interviewed them, asked for follow-ups, and got a lot of information. Feel really comfortable with Aquatic Control. Had one area where we were concerned about his price on that, and he actually drove in from St. Louis and met one-on-one with me on site and walked me through his process with that. And the concern was that he was significantly cheaper than the other one, and we didn't want him to get in a situation where he's losing money and we're having to cancel a contract, and we were just being good business partners with him. And he's very comfortable with it. We were very comfortable with it, and happy to recommend Aquatic Control Incorporated as our company for lake and pond management. And I am happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Bill?
You say Aquatic Control Incorporated?
Yes, sir.
Is there an LLC also?
I did not see it on their bid sheet. They list as INC.
All right, I'm looking at the bid sheet now, I guess. It shows incorporated. I just want to be specific about,
Yeah, I listed it as their bid sheet, so I don't recall seeing an LLC on there.
okay. All right, thank you,
We
sir.
can confirm that and make sure before it goes to council for final approval.
All right.
Excellent.
Right.
Any other questions? Okay, not hearing any, I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Bill?
I make a motion we award the contract for lake and pond management to Aquatic Control Incorporated.
Okay. Second, okay. So Member Manson made the first. Member Casas made the second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll go to vote. All those in favor? Passes 7-0, 2 absent. Action item, what I'm going to guess is E, Festival in the Park, MOU. Director?
Yeah, thank you, sir. That is not a restart of the agenda. It's E, not A. So what we have before you is the Festival in the Park MOU. This is an annual memorandum of understanding between the Festival in the Park and the Park Board. Essentially, it outlines the use of Memorial Park for the Fall Festival. This is pretty standard. We've used this for as many years as I can remember, well into 10 years. Essentially, the president of the festival and I kind of go through this, changing dates, making any changes. They did request one change this year as opposed to the previous years, and that is the requirement of the portable toilet units. We normally had them required 5, and they asked to be reduced down to 3. And so we provided that request, or granted that request. This is also an MOU that outlines the council's in-kind service of funding to pay for our maintenance staff's overtime. So our staff works the festival for them, and then the council transfers in dollars in the annual budget that covers that. So this outlines that and secures the dates. There's really not much different in terms of changes. I am happy to answer any questions. I don't want to go into full detail of this when you guys can read it, but if there's something you've read through, didn't understand it, please feel free to ask. That concludes staff report, and we do recommend this. This would be a resolution of the council, not a contract of the council. So this will be a one-time read. And then what will also happen is once this is approved, they will secure their liquor license through the state and through the city, and they will be able to provide kind of a beer garden or an open container type event atmosphere through our alcohol in the park policy. But we won't issue that until they've secured the licenses. Most likely will be either in the May or the June meeting. And that concludes staff report.
Any questions? Bill?
Forgive me, Director Mustine, but on the porta potties, how many, are we talking about a reduction
Yes.
from last year?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions? Are we sure? Okay, seeing no questions, I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Bill?
I propose we accept the MOU with Festival in the Park LLC.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second? Second. Awesome. So Member Manson with the first and Member Casas with the second. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll go to vote. All those in favor? Passes 7-0, 2 absent. We have no public comment, so we'll move to board member comment. I'll start with you, Dan.
Yeah, I'm excited that we're getting the festival in the park going again. I think that's a really good event, and just want to thank staff for all your hard work on all these new projects we have coming right now. It seems like there's a lot going on, and you guys are very busy, so thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ken?
Nothing further to add.
Thank you, sir. Patrick?
Well, the board up here, we're an oversight body, and we enjoy what we do. We're going to volunteer for anything for the parks. But I've got to say, you guys are the boots on the ground, and the work that was done with the TB Hanna station, winning that recognition, and then moving on to a national award is spectacular. And that's your planning, that's your development, and making it happen, coordinating all those efforts, schedule changes. So congratulations again to the staff. And I know we all are excited about that, but that's your hard work. So we appreciate it very much.
Thank you, sir. Simon?
Just thank you for all your hard work. Congratulations on the national award, and go get it.
Thank you, sir. Chris?
I have no comment. You guys
Thank
said
you.
it all.
Thank you, sir. Bill?
I've already stated my congratulations previously. Staff has done an excellent job, superb, from everything from a national award to porta potties. It's unbelievable how capable and competent you are.
And I'll try to follow that up. That's really hard to follow up, but I'll follow it up. Several things stuck out to me, but two major ones stuck out to me. It is awesome to hear Superintendent Gibbs talk about numbers up all across the board. We are finally seeing people getting out past the COVID situations we had. To have a 10% increase in any sport after what we went through is fantastic. That's kudos to the staff in being able to manage that, because again, it's a whole, we've got new people coming back out with concerns, and to be able to take those concerns away from them and lead them to getting back out to our recreation sports is such a big deal and well needed. So that is awesome. And then I'll piggyback a little bit after Member Patrick as far as TB Hanna. I've been lucky enough to be on this board when it was a thought before I got on the board. Then there were several different ideas, and in a collaboration, which you don't see a lot, between this board, staff, city council, arts commission, citizens, and those who gave us grants, and I'm sure I'm leaving other people off, to have that all come together, everybody work together and become a national award is a pat on the back for the entire city. Not only staff who led the charge, but everybody getting involved to get to one specific spot, which would be a national award, is probably the coolest thing us members of the board up here could have in our holster, so to speak, and that's just amazing. So thank you all. With that, we will move to adjournment. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn this meeting.
Okay, do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Passes 7-0, 2 absent. Meeting adjourned.